Good evening, and how are you doing? Here's a brief video on just key happenings in the US stock market over the last trading week, and also a bit of coverage on the crypto space. Now, starting with the US equities, we have three major indexes, and if you're someone who has been following my previous videos, you know that indexes measure the average performance of stocks on an exchange. Now, the S&P 500 comprises the 500 biggest companies in the US by market cap. And that index closed down 0.3%. I mean, the index comprises 500 of the publicly traded companies, the biggest by market cap. Market cap is the figure you get when you multiply the number of shares the company has by its current share price. In this case, you do that for all of the 500 companies, and it's often used as a means of assessing the overall health of the US stock market and the broader US economy. And some people don't quite like it because when you look at it, top 5, top 10 comprise a large part of the index. And maybe I'll do a video one of these days on the index, what it is and why it matters. Then you had the Dow Jones Industrial Average, commonly known as the DGIA or the Dow, and the Dow ended down 1% as well. Now, the Dow comprises the 30 large blue chip companies trading on the New York Stock Exchange, while the NASDAQ Composite comprises companies trading on the NASDAQ exchange, and the NASDAQ Composite closed the week down 0.1%. Now, you might wonder, why do you have three indexes? And it's because they all kind of do slightly different things. NASDAQ is an exchange. The Dow is on its own. The S&P 500 covers the broader stock market, even though some people might argue differently. But that's probably the major marker that people use. While the Dow comprises companies in the New York Stock Exchange. So you have several stock exchanges in the US as well. Now, what else happened? You also had NVIDIA. NVIDIA made history. It became the first stock in the world to hit a 4 trillion market cap. And I was looking at the numbers. I just, maybe when I share the slides later, I would include the chart. It was a good week for them. I mean, the stock made history. As I said, market cap is the figure you get when you multiply the number of shares the company has by its share price or the price of a singular share. And NVIDIA had a good week. The stock closed 4.2% up last 5 days, $164.92. If you'd like to know more or just want some more context, you can check out the podcast episode I did on Spotify about NVIDIA. To earnings, Delta Airlines dropped Q2 2025 earnings. In fact, it was the stock popped because I'm looking at the share price for this week, and last 5 days is up 11.82%. So it popped the very day earnings came. And why was that? Earnings came in better than analysts had expected. You might argue, well, it's a narrow beat because you can see differential of 0.4 billion in terms of revenue that was made versus analyst expectations. In terms of earnings, differential of 0.5 cents, about 5 cents. In terms of earnings per share that came in versus what analysts expected. But what really triggered the movement in price was the company restoring its full year guidance. I mean, guidance came down slightly a bit a few months ago when the peak of all the uncertainty around tariffs and trade wars was really rocking the world. They withdrew their guidance saying, look, we're not sure our estimates of what we had for the year. We don't know how the year is going to shape out. So just withdrawing guidance. So the stock tumbled a bit. And they restored guidance. It's a bit lower than what they initially expected. But the fact that they're saying, look, here's what we think we're going to do for the year, I mean, that's something. So watch out for the Spotify episode as well as the article that will be on the Green Ticker Tales website, where I'll be going a bit deeper into Delta Airlines numbers. Then you also had Levi Strauss, and you might know them for jeans. Now, Levi is a much smaller company, and like I said, earnings season is just warming up. The coming week, you're going to have earnings mostly from banks and a few other firms as well. So Levi is a pretty tiny stock. If I'm looking at its market cap, and it's a market cap of 8.6 billion, so it's a fairly tiny company as well. But well, it's in the fashion space, retail, so it's good to just kind of keep an eye. And in fact, for them, they actually raised their full year guidance, which is interesting. I'm not really a fan of this stock because you'd see that margins are really tiny, but hey, we watch what we have to watch. I mean, we watch everything that happens in the markets in the search for alpha. Alpha meaning extraordinary returns and all that. So they did better than expected. The stock popped 15.7% last 5 days, popped on Friday 11.2%, and in fact it's trading close to its 52-week high of $22.19. So to the crypto space now, Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, breaking above 118,000. It's quite interesting. I wasn't expecting this anytime soon. I mean, with all the uncertainty. But as one thing can say, or what I'm seeing, is that you have a more maturing market in the crypto market. So a lot of the macro volatility around the US stock market, global markets, it's not as rocking the markets as it used to be a few years ago. So Bitcoin, hitting above $118,000 mark. I suspect in the next couple of weeks, except you have macro shocks, probably going to hit 120, 125,000. XRP, one of the top 10 altcoins, crossed the 170 billion mark. I'm looking at the numbers at the moment. XRP is just trading just below that. It's trading at a market cap of 162 or 161.8 billion. The figures just changed. Now, Indonesian crypto exchange, Indo Crypto, was listed on the Indonesian stock market. I will keep an eye on this firm. I'm very much a fan of crypto exchanges and just firms in the crypto space listing. You might check out the different episodes on Spotify that I've done about Coinbase. Coinbase is a publicly listed exchange in the US. So this is a rundown. I'm trying to be as brief as possible. I could probably add another 10, 15 pages only from the crypto section of things. But as time goes on and as the week goes on, I'll be doing this and it should have more and more content. So let me know what else caught your eye in the world of crypto and US equities, and have a great week ahead. Watch out for my videos for the Nigerian equity space. Those should be up sometime tomorrow about just around this time. As always, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has done so, and please keep doing so. Let's push this knowledge around, and let's keep going. And as the more we do, the more we learn, the better we become as investors and as analysts. So have yourself a great rest of the weekend. Hope you're getting some good R&R over the weekend. Have a good day or week or morning ahead.